Good afternoon. My name is Tiara Selby, and I chose to do my persuasive speech on illegal immigrants. And the question is, should immigration laws be reformed? I want to convince you guys that immigration laws should be reformed. I am a pro immigration supporter, and I believe that we need stricter immigration. Immigration has long been a problem in the U.S. Many of today's illegal immigrants are illegal immigrants, and numbers continue to rise. Illegal immigration is said to cost taxpayers billions of dollars and allows U.S. citizens less jobs, and people are now out of jobs actually. And it conflicts with the public image of legal immigrants. So today's immigration system is broken, and a solution needs to be proposed. I am very interested in politics, and immigration plays a big role in campaigns. In politics today, I have seen candidates publicize how legal immigrants are hurting our economy. They weaken the security of our country internally because they're undocumented in the system, and we may not know who they are or where they came from because we have no type of documents of them. They're illegal, and it impacts the U.S. quite negatively. And another thing with illegal immigration, there's always a threat of terrorism. Students, as students, we go to school with many people from different countries, and their family members might even be illegal immigrants. You never know. So this is in a way relevant to the audience, but today I just want to convince you that immigration laws need to be reformed. If immigrants are in the country illegally, then that hurts us as natural born citizens. I have nothing against them, but if they want to be a part of the U.S., they need to do it legally. And like I said, I feel like immigration is a big problem concerning terrorism in this present day. What is immigration? What is immigration reform? Immigration reform, in political terms, regards the changes to immigration policy. This means to improve, change, or amend the current policy that we have for immigrants. In the early 18th and 19th century, there was an open immigration policy. There was immigrants could cross the border without question, and nothing would be of the matter. But after the Civil War, the Supreme Court had to start regulating immigrants, and it became a federal responsibility. Immigrants started to grow in numbers and had started to cause problems within the economy. So Congress decided to act on more legislation to control the immigration population. Even countries such as China passed the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 that prohibited laborers from immigrating to the U.S. The immigration policy has changed quite drastically over the centuries. The attack on 9/11 left the U.S. weakened on their feet. The government created departments on fill gap measures to create a system that can manage and control situations such as 9/11. Immigration reform has changed over the years due to the attacks on the U.S. Like in the 18th and 19th century, they didn't have any laws against it. You could easily cross the border or go everywhere you wanted to. But now that there are more and more immigrants coming in and more problems, something needs to change. So immigration reform has changed over the years due to attacks on the U.S. as well as the economy. I will now discuss why it is a big deal. Illegal immigration in the U.S. has caused a problem with border control security, as well as the currently broken system of immigration is already hurting us. Illegal immigrants drain state funds and cost the U.S. even more money. Many immigrants cross the border from Mexico and bring drugs and weapons. Drug cartels in Mexico are driving people to the U.S. for a safer way of living. The U.S. has to thoroughly check the immigrant through paperwork and screen them to make sure they don't pose a threat. But even that isn't 100% effective. Now that we have discussed why it is important to mind illegal immigrants, we will talk about the problems they cause. One of the biggest problems with immigrants this day and age is terrorism. It wasn't very prominent in the 18th century, but immigration laws have gotten very strict. The U.S. now has border security as well as strict law enforcement to protect the country from terrorists. America just isn't safe anymore. Millions of U.S. citizens are out of work because of illegal immigrants taking jobs. Less desirable jobs are held by illegal immigrants workers who work for less than your average worker. Illegal immigrants are estimated to costing taxpayers $125 billion of resources. They are breaking the law and need to be punished for doing such. Imagine how actual legal immigrants feel. They have to fill out lengthy paperwork and go through a long process to be able to live in the country. It just isn't fair. We as Americans also need the resources of taxpayers. Many people are out of jobs and trying to make ends meet while these immigrants take over everything. Illegal immigrants also get a lot of assistance from the government, which it isn't fair as well. And some immigrants are involved in crimes, and they're mostly the undocumented ones, which are the illegal immigrants, and that's really hard to control. Now that we have discussed the issues with illegal immigrants, we will now discuss efforts made to control this issue. What has been done? The U.S. has been deporting illegal immigrants and has been very strict on border control. Many former presidents have made continuous efforts to manage this situation. Some solutions, as explained above, can be strengthening our border. The U.S. has increased efforts to enhance their security in response to the 9/11 attacks. Deporting has been another option. Illegal immigrants that are found in the country can and will be deported. Illegal immigrants should just take the time to become citizens. If immigrants became citizens the legal way, it would save the U.S. the trouble of worrying about possible threats, including terrorism, but not purely 100%. But there would still be job losses and more government services provided to the immigrants. Either way, there are pros and cons with every idea to find a solution. Illegal immigrants are one of the nation's biggest problems of today. It is hard to deal with, and not only one solution can solve it. More and more immigrants are trying to get into America to provide a better life for themselves and their family. In conclusion, illegal immigration is very complex to deal with. It will take time, patience, and even more strategies to control it. Illegal immigrants affect everyone, and even legal immigrants. This is all something that we should take into consider and keep an open ear on.